going from the draft and all that stuff, I want to switch it over to the Michael Jordan doc. Episodes 3 and 4 were out. And then everybody watch it, first of all, before we, start spoiling it.
No.
Yeah.
You already know Carl's going to wait till the whole thing's finished to watch it all at once.
Yeah,
so
ridiculous.
Carl didn't watch it. I can speak for myself. I did watch it. It was thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, though. I don't want to watch it because I already know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm a historian of the game. You know what I'm saying? I show up and I watch the tape. Like, everybody's like, oh, my God, this just happened. It's like, I knew this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to sit down and watch all 10.
Yeah, but you know about it, but this is the footage that covers it. Like, I guarantee you haven't seen the footage about Dennis Rodman in Vegas.
I did, but it's okay. I mean, like, I knew this.
No,
I knew this.
Like,
it's been known.
It's been known, yeah. Like, I don't.
Dennis Rodman spoke about that, though, like.
I'm a historian. I watched the Dennis Rodman documentary. You know what I'm saying? I've already seen it.
Dennis Rodman was cooking niggas going off that coke. That was crazy.
Yeah, bro.
So was Jordan.
In fact.
That's crazy.
That speaks to a
I
lot.
don't know about that.
He's not even really paying attention to what's going on, but I'm gonna leave that to my turn.
What he said?
Wait, what happened?
He said.
I said that speaks to a lot about what the game was like back then, but I don't really want to. I'm gonna wait.
Here we go.
I got a question. I got a question for you, Mark.
No, hold on. Everybody, get your opinions out on the documentary, and then because I know Mark has a lot to say.
Yeah, I know what Mark's. I know what Mark's
on Twitter,
going.
Instagram, just mad hate for the documentary and the Bulls, especially Jordan.
All right, AB, go.
Respect the OG. That's the OG.
I thought 3 and 4 were good. I thought that the Dennis Rodman stuff, I mean, I knew a lot about him. I didn't watch his documentary, but
you gotta watch
like
that.
some of the stuff definitely is real interesting on his life in general. Like I mean, I don't know. Like I knew he was like kind of messing around with Madonna. I didn't really know all of like
Tony Braxton, Carmen Electra.
Tony Braxton, Carmen Electra, Vivica Fox.
Impressive, bro.
Had the juice.
That's why he was dressing the way he was. Like, y'all can't say shit about me because
he was a rock star, bro.
Yeah, like look who
I'm rock star.
Yeah, so
Tony Braxton was looking good.
Respect.
Era.
So respect to him. Respect to Rodman on that. It was cool to see him just like talk about his dedication to his craft, like how he was like, I learned how different shooters would shoot the ball, the rotations of the ball, knowing where that would be and stuff like that. You don't really hear people talk about their dedication to the craft, especially when it comes to like rebounding, because that's, I don't know. It's not an exciting part of the game. Nobody's like, I can't wait to go watch the game tonight to go watch some people catch some boards. As a matter of fact, that's probably the last thing people want to go see, because that means they're missing shots. So
right.
Anybody really trying to go watch people put up bricks all day. So that part was cool. And just Jordan and Isaiah, like the whole Dream Team stuff makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
now. He really, like, you could tell Jordan still don't like it. Like, if they really were left in the same room, like, I'm 1,000% sure the two of them would start fighting.
Oh, easily.
100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
I think the funniest thing going on right now is people tweeting at Isaiah Thomas, and he's like, "This happened years ago. Why are y'all mad at me now?"
That's just Twitter nowadays, to be honest.
Yeah, bro. It's Twitter gonna get you one way or the other.
Yeah.
Suspend your account.
Internet never lost.
Yeah, the internet don't lose ever.
It's a fact.
Shane, what you think?
I think it was good. Like it really like. I think I like the documentary in the whole, because like the way it goes, it's obviously the theme is 97, 98 Bulls, the last dance, the end of their championship runs for the organization itself, and it just brings you to mad stories and mad places where it's just like, oh shoot, like if you didn't know, now you know, kind of thing. So these episodes were really good. I saw the Dennis Rodman documentary. I saw the Bad Boys documentary. So a lot of the stuff I had already, known, but it just gives you like a good insight of just like, but bro, Jordan was just is a beast, bro. Packing on muscle. After the Eastern Conference Finals, they lost to them in the Eastern Conference Finals, but it just shows mind of a champion. What did you guys think about the Pistons just walking off? Because a lot of people had that's where that meme came from, the Jordan meme on Twitter. What do y'all think about that? Because like still to this day, them guys is chatting about it like it happened yesterday.
I mean, for me, it's kind of like passing the torch, because in the documentary, like Isaiah Thomas says, like the Celtics did it to them a couple of years before that, and they started like a dynasty or whatever, winning 2 straight. So like, I mean, that's kind of like how they were. Like they were bad boys or whatever, so they're not supposed to respect anyone. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know, they passed the torch. Like, all right, this is the next Eastern Conference like dynasty or whatever. Like the Bulls are gonna now lead the East for a while, like the Pistons did. So I wasn't really like, I wasn't really bothered by it, like after like understanding the whole situation.
Because a lot of like old timers or people who used to watch the game, like the people used to go, oh yeah, the league was different. The league, what I mean, like it was a lot tougher, like and yes, it was. I was saying gameplay, but I feel like respect is just universal. It don't matter, like I mean, you're a professional athlete, so if you choose to give that respect, because I remember when Golden State won the first chip, LeBron was out here dapping all the dudes up. I mean, giving them their credit and stuff like that. So it's just, I feel like it just comes a long way just as being a professional athlete and respecting other people. Like there's just a lot that goes into a championship, like the year, that whole year. So you just respecting that athlete, like the same sacrifice you give, I give, but you bested me this time. So congratulations.
I could understand it in a regular season game, just walking off. But in the finals, like you said, like stand there, be a man about it. You lost, you got swept. You got swept. Not only did you lose, you got swept at that. Stand up here, be a man about it, and
was a whole speech.
But Jordan got to keep that same energy though, because if he's gonna push that whole narrative about being competitive and like just going to war with people. Now we just went to war. What am I dapping him up for? We out here in these streets. I'm not.
He did it though. He did do it though.
The year before that.
The 2 years.
2 years in a row.
Like we out here. We don't believe in that, so we're not gonna dap y'all up. So Jordan should have recognized like, oh, these dudes really competitive. They mad. So they wanna like store that and then bring it back next year, run it back again, and if they can, when they shit, they'll dap you up. If y'all don't want to dap up next year, don't dap up. Simple.
I'm kind of with Mark on this one, though.
Listen,
yeah.
All about the smoke. All about the smoke.
Listen, bro. Listen. You've all played sports competitively at some level, right? If you have a personal like issue on the field with somebody crossed the line from being competitive to like, all right, this is personal shit. And some sports people take a lot of personal shit and they talk shit and whatever. But it's for like mental gain, or they're trying to get over on you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
cool. And then at the end, some people be like, all right, cool, we dap it up, whatever. I've had an instance before. This one kid, he was being a dick the whole game, and I asked him to kick the ball back. The motherfucker just let it run past him, and we were losing. You know what I'm saying? And they were up like 2-3 goals or some shit. Then when it comes to the end of the game, I'm not shaking your hand. I'm shaking the rest of your teammates' hand. You're an asshole. But you've been doing that shit all game. So I don't respect it. You know what I'm saying? It's not to gain an edge. You guys already up. You're gonna win the game. Just pass the ball back. Don't be a dick.
Was this for them?
Yeah, but I'm saying. I'm just giving you an example. Look, hold on.
That's the point, though. That's the point, though, Garfield. That's why they didn't shake their hands, bro.
Nah, what I'm saying is, bro, I've had real competitive games versus people where you're like, damn, all right, this is like, I gotta be like playing on my shit today, because if I'm not, like, I'm gonna lose. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten the advantage over people, and vice versa. And we shook hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, even them, like, being all extra defensive and hurt, like, that's how they play. You knew what time it was. You've been preparing how many years for this? And you guys, you know what I'm saying? But they could have had a little bit more respect, in my opinion. They didn't have to. They could have.
But you saw how you didn't shake the dude's hand, right?
Yeah, the reason I didn't shake his hand because he was a dick. It's not because of what he was.
But like people,
You think
forget,
Jordan wasn't?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You forget that Michael
I'm not saying Jordan wasn't a dick. I'm just saying that whole Detroit team, right? That whole Detroit team was being aggressive and they were playing. Go ahead.
Michael Jordan disrespected not just that whole team. He didn't just come at Isaiah Thomas, at Bill Laimbeer. He said the entire city of Detroit is trash. Like, bro, like I'm not like, why would they shake his hand?
That's a fact.
Why would, you know what I'm saying? It was no respect there. It was no respect lost. And you know what I'm saying? Just going back to the Celtics, they didn't shake their hands, bro. You didn't see the Detroit Pistons crying about it. You know what I'm saying? They went and got 2 chips. That's what Jordan was supposed to go do.
Hey, listen.
He was supposed to go get chips after that.
And he got his chip. He got his chip.
I get it. He got 3. He got 6 of them shits.
Got 3 in a row, bro. Right after that.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? Like, by Michael Jordan still holding on to this 30 years later. So Jordan's 1 through 24. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, get over it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's holding on to it. I think
but like
he was talking about it. Maybe he was a little triggered, but I don't think he's bothered by it now.
I mean, I hope not.
No, yeah, I hope not. But like in the documentary, like he's I think,
but like
Isaiah Thomas is the one that's more triggered than anybody, because he was saying, you know, I think it was on ESPN after, he was just like, if he's, you know, I think he said the one thing on his resume was not being on the dream team.
Yeah.
So if he's getting the repercussions of not shaking somebody's hand, like,
well,
you know,
bro, he could have shook Jordan's
crazy.
hand. He could have picked his kids up. He could have picked Michael Jordan's kids up from daycare. He wasn't getting on that dream team, bro. Like, that was just a fact. Like, he wasn't getting on the team. He should have been on the team, hands down.
He should have been, but I think just, I mean, you got Magic
persona
on there.
alone kick him off that team, bro.
Huh?
That is exactly persona alone. He said his
persona alone kicked him off that team.
Well, no, bro. Michael Jordan really just didn't like him, bro. Like that's I think that's like the major like factor.
No, I understand. I don't know, but like look at the image they always trying to paint. You know, like the perfect team or whatever, right? The dream team was a perfect team. They had to everybody, right? They don't want Isaiah Thomas on that hacking niggas. Like,
I mean, bro, you gotta remember everybody was hacking back then,
bro. But you saw what he was doing, bro.
Bro, but like, you don't understand.
They were straight
that's
swinging
the game back then.
No,
like,
everybody was
Dennis
playing
Rodman,
crazy, but the Pistons was on a different level, bro.
Bro, like Isaiah talked about it, bro. Like you had the Celtics back then knocking people down. You got the Lakers. You saw when the Lakers was playing. I forgot who they was playing, and the Lakers dude literally got shoved all the way like into like the 4th row, like sideways.
Yeah.
Like that's just the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, did Detroit, you know, take it a little too far with Mike? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like
maybe.
But like at the same time, like
maybe.
All right, so I'm gonna ask Mark this question because I've been seeing it floating around on Twitter. So obviously Jordan, when he lost to the Pistons, put on, what did they say, 15 pounds of muscle, got up to 215, and then he was finally able to beat the Pistons. People obviously knock LeBron for flopping, and the modern NBA game is very, you know, there's a lot of flopping. Like, there's just as much flopping in the modern NBA game as there is in professional men's soccer. So
flopping is a skill.
And it's an art of deceiving referees or making sure that you get protection from the referees. Do you think LeBron would have been able to handle the bad boy Pistons, considering the fact of LeBron plays at what, 260? Well, now he's what, 230 probably? 230, 240. But back then he would have probably played closer to 250, which is heavier than Bill Laimbeer played at.
Apart from LeBron have been able to. He was always naturally gifted like physically compared to everybody else. So I think personally he would have been slamming on all these dudes. And my thing is with Jordan, if you knew you couldn't drive in the lane, why you ain't taking more jump shots? Like LeBron got killed for not taking jump shots and not being able to take jump shots. But my guy, he fixed his game and like he got better at taking jump shots. So I'm looking at it like, yo, all right, every time you drive, they about to slam you. Take a fucking jump shot. Them lanes, it wasn't even no like lane or anything. It was just like a little small ass fucking court. It was like a maintenance.
Yo, Mark, look, you see what you just said?
What?
Maybe Jordan was trying to work on the reverse thing. You know he got a great jump shot. Maybe these guys being here is gonna improve my attacking the basket.
Nah, since college, bro.
I'm just saying.
He won the national championship with North Carolina off a jump shot.
I bet y'all want to play that card. that means he don't got no IQ then, because he got the fucking rim shot, but he want to go get killed and lose a series.
Hey, listen.
Bro, that's how you
I
gonna
know you're
how
a
you
serial
gonna how you
LeBron
gonna
fan, but you
improve?
gotta stop, bro.
Listen, how you gonna improve your game? You improve.
I'm probably about to close the
This is
computer.
what I'm saying. Bro, how do you?
What this man say?
Damn, this nigga nice. You see how this nigga Shinny got the gold chain on right now? I seen Jordan with the 2 chains on. When he was younger, and I was like, damn, this nigga clean as fuck. And I tweeted LeBron right after. I said, yo, you gotta put the 2 chains on. I respect it, but I'm saying I look at it from an objective view, especially considering like it's kind of a similar like come up for the 2 players if you think about it, because like Jordan came in under a lot of scrutiny too. He wasn't like the best initially, and he had to earn it. And then LeBron, I remember when LeBron was coming in, like CJ Miles, I think his name is, or Darius Miles. All of them
Darius
dudes,
Miles.
they were saying like, "Yo, nah, we don't think he's gonna come in and change nothing."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a high school kid, all
He's a
that.
role
Yeah.
player. He's just a high school kid. So it's like the same shit. So just to see it from that standpoint, how it changed, you know what I mean? It's pretty interesting. But you still gotta look at it kind of like, wow, these niggas were sucking him off for that shit, and then LeBron get killed for that shit. So it depends.
You know what? One thing I did see that was similar was the criticism that they had was at first when Jordan was talking about how, you know, after winning that first championship, before he had the reputation of, oh, he wins scoring championships, he doesn't win championships, he doesn't elevate the people around him. That struck out to me because I was like, damn, that's crazy, because they killed LeBron for the same thing before he won his first championship. Was he doesn't elevate he doesn't elevate his teammates. And when you look at
all they say is he elevates everybody around him.
And if you look at it, like, if you go back and look at them early Cavs rosters that LeBron was taking to the finals,
Trash.
they were trash.
Buns, bro.
Yo,
Awful.
Buns.
They're doing well at the time, though.
That last Cavs team that he brought to the last Cavs team he took to the finals, that was a Buns team too.
The one that was with was it Dellavedova?
Dellavedova, Kyrie, K-Law.
The last one.
No. They
No.
didn't have Kyrie. They
Nah,
had
they didn't have
Dellavedova,
Kyrie.
Oh,
Tristan
yeah.
Thompson, J.R.
The
Smith,
last one.
Kevin Love, and
one.
LeBron.
Nah, Shin, you thinking? Or hold up, are y'all saying the first Golden State one, or y'all saying the last Golden State one with Kevin Love? When they had KD.
Yeah, the last one with KD.
Yeah,
When they got swept.
I would say the first one was even worse. The one where they where he took them 4-2 when Kyrie tore his knee and Kevin Love was out with a concussion.
They could have won that one with the fully
They could have won that one if Kevin and Kyrie was on.
They weren't.
No,
They were both out. That's my point.
No, I'm saying they could have. They would have beat the Golden State team that first year.
Oh, 100%.
But they weren't there. That's my point. It wasn't there.
No.
If they were healthy, they would have won it.
Yeah, if they were healthy, they would have won it. I'm just saying, like the worst Cavs team was that last team.
LeBron.
I don't know. I would say the first Cavs team, like the one back in when was it?
Nah, because Golden State wasn't ready for all that heat.
Well, when they lost to the Spurs.
When they lost to the Spurs, that team was trash.
Oh, that team was trash.
And then I would go with the finals team where Kyrie and K-Love got hurt, and then I would go with that team, Shan.
I knew that team was trash when they went 7 games with Boston. Like that last year.
Who's on that Boston?
Boston was nice.
Boston was nice, but I'm saying that Cavs team wasn't good. Like
the Cavs team was good. It was everybody but Kyrie. They still had Kevin Love. But they still had J.R.
Nah, but LeBron was driving the boat the whole time. Once I saw it like that, I was like, all right, they're going to lose.
When does LeBron not got his boating license? When does LeBron not have his boating license? Like,
yeah, but he needs some help. Like,
yeah, remember Shinny a Golden State fan, so take everything he said with a grain of salt.
Some help. Yeah. No, I'm a basketball fan before anything. So the facts are the facts.
You are a Golden State fan. So how do you feel about Draymond's coming out and all his?
That nigga is trash.
First of all,
Draymond been talking spicy.
Draymond been talking spicy, bro. I agree to disagree. A lot of the things is personal.
On KD.
Yeah, a lot of things is personal. It really has nothing to do with basketball. Because if you know like in terms of basketball, you know KD's not staying. Period. He's just there for like everybody knew that. He's staying for a certain amount of time. He's gonna go there, get something, and bounce. Like KD not loyal to nobody. That's just a fact. But in terms of how he's speaking, like how he's talking, I think it's all personal. Like I feel like
What
he's
about
just baiting KD to respond and say something.
What about the quote he said? What was it? Him and Steph Curry would have been able to beat. He said they would have been able to beat Jordan and Scotty or something like that.
There's no way he said that.
That's cap.
I don't think
That's
you
cap.
said that, AB. I don't
Nah,
think
he
you
said,
said
hold
that.
up. He said him and Steph would have been able to beat him. He said him and Steph would have been
Warned
able
y'all
to beat
niggas about AB.
No. He said him and Steph would have been able to beat a very legendary like pair of players. Let me find this.
Backcourt.
There's probably like a big and a.
It's not Kobe and
It
Shaq.
wasn't
I tell
Jordan.
you that.
Octa Malone.
It's not.
It was
No.
Kobe and Shaq. Hold up.
Wait, what?
What?
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
He didn't say
He
that.
didn't say
He didn't
that.
say that. He didn't say that.
But I heard a
He didn't
hot
say
take
that.
low key that if the Warriors played like the Pistons, they wouldn't be able to like shoot all them threes. I don't understand that take at all.
Because they're saying back in that time period.
No, but they saying like if they had the 3-point line and everything, and
They
they
wouldn't.
still like the same like system with them niggas being aggressive or whatever. If Steph Curry's from half court, what are you gonna do?
No, but like the game Cavs would play if they play mad aggressive defense, they wouldn't play the same.
No, but you're gonna get tired. But you're gonna get tired though.
Jordan went in the paint.
But you're gonna get tired though.
You can then you can hand check though. So like Steph Curry not going nowhere.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Steph Curry not going nowhere on who?
On Isaiah Thomas, two-time NBA champion.
You're tripping.
Defensive player at least 5 times.
Kyrie,
what? Put some respect on his name, bro. Put some respect on his
okay.
name.
You think
Steph's pulling up from half court?
It don't matter, bro.
There's gonna be Isaiah Thomas in his face.
You're gonna get tired.
Isaiah Thomas was guard Magic Johnson, bro, for 94 feet. You think he's scared of Stephen Curry?
Bro, if you watch Magic, let me show you something. If you watch Magic, this is what Magic does.
Yeah, don't disrespect the man.
I'm not gonna disrespect him. He dribbles up the court.
Make your committee in here, bro.
He turned his back and then he keeps switching until he gets closer and closer.
He turned, yeah. He used his height.
That nigga
that sounds smart to me, nigga.
You know,
Mark. Nigga posting up from the half court.
Mark, you know he got 5 rings from that, right?
Right.
Bro,
you know he got 5 rings from that. I don't know.
Imagine him doing that, right? And then Isaiah just holding him. What? He don't gotta do nothing else. Steph Curry coming up and cooking this nigga real quick.
But these niggas.
Hold on. Okay, I found a quote.
Jordan, bro. You see Jordan was dancing out there.
You're bugging.
I did find what Draymond said. He said him and Steph would have cooked Kobe and Shaq in a pick and roll.
I gotta see it for proof. Okay, I don't
stupid, because guess what? Shaq coming up the pick and roll.
What you think? I'm just making this shit up?
Are you crazy?
That's cap.
I don't want to just come to Draymond.
What Draymond coming off the pick and roll? Shaq coming off the roll with the alley-oop slash. Done.
First of all,
that's the best 1-2 the game ever seen, bro.
First of all,
it's debates.
Yo, nobody's stopping Shaq, bro.
It's debates.
You said 1-2.
Malone.
I'm not talking about a point guard and like a center. I mean like 1-2 punch.
Okay.
Do you see this card?
Yeah, you got it. I see it.
Dominant players in the NBA ever.
You said what?
What?
Shaq is like one of the most dominant players.
He's the most dominant. He's the most dominant. He was bullying people, bro.
Imagine if Shaq could.
Yo, the NBA had to restructure their rims because of this man.
Yeah,
breaking backboards for fun.
I'm telling you, bro.
Anyway.
No. Based on that statement, that's a false statement. I don't know what Draymond been
thinking. Bro, Draymond's capping. He's wild.
I guess if you're talking solely in the pick and roll, that would mean that there would have to be a switch. If you're taking it solely as the pick and roll, there'd have to be a switch.
If we're talking
Shaq
about
at the 3-point line, if Shaq has to switch and guard.
Yeah. If we're talking about that, okay. But like in terms of, I mean, and you already see Steph Curry got the quick release, so he has that going
pick and roll. Draymond ain't scoring no buckets.
He not hit. Draymond, I don't know.
Steph the one gonna create problems, and Kobe gonna lock up.
Person.
Bro, I can't believe I think Isaiah checking Steph. Bro.
Light.
I don't think I
I
get
think he's
that,
dragging
bro.
him light.
Yo,
Said
Patrick,
light.
bro,
Bro,
I
he's
don't
one of the
think- I
greatest
don't think-
defenders of all time, bro. That's no cap.
I don't think he's locking him up.
You would probably clamp him up. 7
He'll
game
give him a hard.
series.
Bro,
he'll give
drive
him-
right, drive
But
right,
y'all
step
do-
back, pull it.
Bro,
Easy.
he'll
But
give
y'all
him
do
a
have to
hard-
put some respect on
he'll-
Steph. Steph is one of the
he'll
greatest
give him-
offensive players.
Bro,
Not if they
yeah,
playing
no
back
doubt.
in the day
He'll give him
rules.
a hard.
You're
He'll
not
give
even
him a
checking
hard
Dame.
time.
Yeah, what?
Nah.
Yeah, exactly. What era are we playing in?
And we
Isaiah
playing
not
back in the
checking
day.
Dame.
That's
It
what I'm
don't.
talking
Steph
about.
It
nor
don't matter.
Kyrie.
It don't matter what time, bro. A shooter's a
It
shooter.
does
An
matter.
assassin is an
The
assassin.
defense gonna be different.
It's gonna be different, but a scorer is
Bro,
always
they
gonna be a
not.
scorer.
That's not true.
No,
At all.
shitty. If we playing with different defense and you can't go nowhere, you're done for. I could put hands on you with no fault,
But
foul
that's
calls. Yeah,
bro.
you're
But
done.
that's what makes me a great scorer in that era. Based off of what defense I'm getting, that's what I'm gonna adjust my game to.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, though.
But he hasn't seen that defense ever in his career. That's what I'm saying.
But they haven't seen that kind of offense in their
He's not
career.
checking.
Exactly, bro.
Well, like,
That's a different.
Ain't no
That's a
shot
different
in
offense.
the 80s or the 90s was pulling
That's
up.
a different offense, bro. Pulling up from like 35.
But you gotta understand that Isaiah was guarding for 94 feet. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
that's
y'all not
like
understanding that.
getting like room, bro. He's pressing motherfuckers all day.
The whole
Bro,
court.
but Steph Curry is a better shooter than he is a handler. But you got to give him props with his handles too.
All right,
Yeah,
check
you got
Isaiah
But
checking
handles
Kyrie.
don't really factor when someone has a hand on you, bro.
Yeah,
like that's
facts.
what I'm saying.
Isaiah checking Kyrie.
You checking all of them, bro.
Hey, listen,
If
that's a
we're
good
back in the
value.
Not
day
check-
rules,
He not checking Kyrie, bro.
No,
he's
listen.
checking them, bro.
He not
It's
checking
the
Kyrie.
reason why it's interesting is because of the time difference. You know what I'm saying? What they were able to get away with defensively, like, and what you can't do now. So if
That's what I'm
if
saying.
Kyrie was playing back then, Kyrie's gonna get a couple buckets off, but
Dr.
Isaiah,
Dre.
pause.
I'm just saying though, because you have to give that player. That player is dominant in one certain aspect. So like Steph Curry is a crazy offensive player. He is the one who has changed the game at like this generation NBA. We got to give props to Steph Curry who changed the game. You got 5 shooting threes because of Steph Curry.
I don't
like-
that didn't correlate at all, but okay. I get what you're trying to say.
I'm just
Like everybody's
saying,
shooting now.
That wasn't
No,
because
everybody
of Steph
shoot.
Curry.
I guess the biggest compliment you could say to Steph Curry is the
Because of the
fact
Europeans
that
with the wing.
Luka Doncic was traded to get a Steph Curry light. So if you think about that, like teams were looking for the next Steph Curry,
Yeah.
and they passed on Luka.
Nah, it was the Hawks, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Just
That-
like the
I don't
NFL
think-
too, though.
I
Now
don't
they're
know.
looking for that quarterback.
Yeah, but like a certain player sets a mold to certain things, and then all of a sudden everyone starts trying to.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like that not only did he set that tone in terms of like the 3-point, the whole team. Like you got small ball, you got like all guys on there who could shoot the 3, like at a good amount of like a good rate. You give the ball to your 5, he more likely than not is gonna sink the 3. So
Small ball was around back then, though. To be fair,
no, I know, but like it was. I would say it was more defensive than offensive, because you got small ball. You can, the guys could play a little bit more energized defense. It was more defensive than offensive than it is now. But like, guys wasn't scoring like 140 points back in the day. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How
So
about
it was just
like you seen the final score be like 87 to 85?
Detroit
Yeah,
put up
yeah.
168. Just saying,
Yeah, that's true too.
they put up 168. They have the highest scoring game of all time.
Right.
Yeah.
Historian. I'm sorry.
It's a
What's
fact.
that mean, like Paul Tito?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yo, but listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I when I was watching the documentary to talk about Dennis Rodman or whatever, I was like, yo, this nigga really was getting the joints back in the day. Man.
Yeah, bro.
Like, for real. I knew about Madonna and Carmen Electra, but like to see her really come on camera, like, yeah, Jordan was at the door and I just hid under the bed because I didn't want him to see me like that.
Carmen had to duck behind the couch, bro.
Yo, imagine you got the juice like that. You got the bad joints of ducking behind the couch, feeling embarrassed, like because you on your mini vacation mid-season.
She still got
She pulled a Navy SEAL maneuver, bro. She said I had to hold my breath. There you go.
He was like, hey,
Yo, she's still looking nice till this day. Still.
yup.
So, Carman.
What'd you say?
48 years old.
I said, Carman.